Just focus and follow. So today's topic is data and presenting information. See, as the name itself, like data, I'm speaking about what?
About
As the name itself, you see here data. What comes into your mind? Like you did your 10 plus 2, or you were in your 10th standard, you have come across the topic called statistics. Am I right?
yes,
Or
yes,
in some walk of life, you would have heard about this word called statistics. So statistics is all about collection of data and presentation of data. Now, what is this collection of data and what is this data all about? Data is nothing but facts. Facts related to something. Suppose if you want to go to a city, if you want to visit a city, suppose you are in India, you want to go to France, and in this country you want to visit this city called Paris. So what will you do before going to Paris? You will collect all the facts related to Paris. Am I right? So can I say that is nothing but the data?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
So you do that for your safe side because you want to put all your facts in some sequence, or you want to arrange your data properly, and then from that you want some information. You want some information as a conclusion, or you want to interpret something out of that data. Okay. So interpretation is nothing but the conclusion which you are drawing from that data, and the conclusion is you made a budget of Paris based upon all the facts you collected about Paris, or based upon all the data you collected about Paris. That means that was the financial data related to all the expenses and your flight charges and everything to and fro. And you came to a conclusion after arranging everything that it's going to cost you 100,000 rupees to and fro to Paris, to and fro from Hyderabad to Paris. Okay. So this is what you concluded, or this is what you interpreted. So data, can I say it is a raw material?
Yes,
And data when processed can give you, it should go undergo some process or processing. So data when processed gives you what? An
info,
output, that is some
information.
valuable information. And this information can help you to decide. Okay. And like decide whether you want to go to Paris or not. And this all you do beforehand. Isn't it so?
Yes,
Now let's see this flow chart or diagram, whatever you want, you can say. Data and presenting information, types of data. So types of data, we will see what types of data we have, and sources of data. Sources of data, internal sources of information, external sources of information. And then we will see, like we also would study something about sampling. What is a sampling? See, this is the entire city of Hyderabad. Let's say this is the entire city of Hyderabad. This is the Hyderabad's map. Okay, so this entire city of Hyderabad, has many areas. Am I right? Some area is like some, like this is like, let's say, North Hyderabad. This is having some like Kompally, let's say. South Hyderabad has Shamshabad. East Hyderabad has some area called Uppal, let's say, and West Hyderabad has high tech city in Kondapur, high tech city, or some area of Hyderabad. So what am I doing here? I want to study that. I want to study something in Hyderabad regarding some like every household has how many earning members. I want to see like how many household have earning members. Am I right? Or how many births are happening, or how many deaths are happening in every family, like in a year. Or let's keep it very simple. I want to study about how many people are earning in Hyderabad. Okay. So do you think is it easy for me to visit the entire Hyderabad city, each and every household, and collect that information? Do you think is it possible? Hyderabad's
Yes.
population is all around like almost 1 crore. 1 crore plus. It is not simple or not easy to do that. So what I can do is I can do one thing. I can collect some samples. Based upon those samples, I can draw some conclusion about Hyderabad, about the earning members in Hyderabad. Can I do that? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
How do these people like say that India's population is 135 crores,
Uh,
135 billion or whatever?
Data.
Yeah, they cannot go from Kashmir to Kanyakumari or from northeast to Gujarat and collect the data and tell how much is the population. They do that with sampling. So samples are collected. So I will just take up 5 areas. These 5 areas which I mentioned, Kompally, Uppal, Shamshabad, High Tech City. I will just take these 5 areas and not even I will not do survey in each and every household. I will take some 10 lanes of each and every area and see how many people are employed there. Based upon that, I will try to conclude the population of Hyderabad, which is working population. Can I do that?
Yes, sir.
I can do that. Of course, see, it is not easy for me to tell how many people are or how many people are earning in Hyderabad. It is highly impossible to do that. But I can collect some samples and from that sample, I can find out the sample mean or sample average.
Yes.
With this sample mean or sample average, I can find out the average population mean. What can I do?
Average population.
Average population mean or average mean of the entire population. Okay, so it is not something like with population mean you will find sample mean. No one does that. With sample mean you can find population mean. So sample goes in this way. If this is the entire Hyderabad, a slice of this, if I cut, what am I doing? I'm just cutting a slice of this. Can I say this is sample?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, with this sample, if I find out all the characteristics or all the like what we say parameters of this sample, like if I find out the mean, if I find out the standard deviation, I know these are new things for you, but I'm trying to explain you something. If I find out the mean of this sample, standard deviation of this sample, let's keep it till here. With this, I can easily find out the mean or average or standard deviation of the entire population. So that is the way they do. The statisticians, they come out with their conclusion for any data. Okay. Now let's enter into the topic. I won't explain you like I have explained you what is sampling. Now types of sampling and random sampling and non-random sampling, what these are. Let me explain you what is the word called random and non-random. See, there is this apartment. In this apartment, there are some 100 flats. And I want to allot parking to this 100 people. Okay. So what can I do? I have two things in my mind. Either I will randomly allocate the parkings to them or either I will go for non-random way. Now, what is this random? Now, what is this non-random? Random is nothing but I'll call everyone on one fine day, a meeting. All the 100 people are available. I'll just take this bowl and I'll write flat numbers and I'll put some chits in this. Are you understanding what I mean to say?
Yes, sir.
And this chits, what we'll do is we'll try to make a lucky draw program whereby we will give this bowl to each and every person and they will pick out the chits and those chits would be finalized. Those chits would finalize the parking for each and every person. That can happen. Yes, that is called random. Random is nothing but we don't know the outcome of this event. We don't know the outcome, what is going to be of this event. So the outcome can be anything. Can I say that Mr. A will get the 20th number parking? Can I say that with this?
No.
Yes.
No, he can get
Sorry.
any parking. the outcome is not sure in this case. The outcome, what is going to happen is not sure.
Not sure. Yes.
That is random. Non-random is nothing but what we did is we planned that whoever has booked the flat in the beginning or whoever has done the registration, first registration, for them we will give the parking accordingly as per the number wise system. Okay, so this is kind of non-random. Why? Because here the outcome is very sure. Okay. So we will go into this deeper. Let's first understand the concepts here. Types of data. So I have explained you what is data. Okay, data relates to facts. Very simple. Events and transactions and so forth can be classified into following ways. Primary data. Primary data is nothing but when you collect the data on your own. Suppose this is Taj Mahal. This is Taj Mahal and this Taj Mahal I visited. And I collected all the facts about this Taj Mahal. Can I say this is primary data?
Yes.
This Taj Mahal's information, I came to Hyderabad and I shared with all my friends. Can I say that is secondary data?
Yes.
Because they got the information from me, not directly. What is numerical data? Numerical data is nothing but which has some numbers in that. Okay. It can be you can say numerical data is nothing but there are 10 people and 10 people are engineers in a group of 100 people. It is a numerical data. It shows that it shows the number of engineers in the given population of 100 people. Can I say that is a numerical data?
Yes.
It can be discrete or continuous. Now, what is discrete? What is continuous? Discrete is nothing but countable. So discrete is something which is countable, which you can count. Let's say a class of 100, okay, students. So now what we are doing is we are taking the students and marks. Or let's say like marks, students. So 10 marks, 20 marks, we have conducted a test of 100 marks and 40 marks and then 60 and then 100 marks. Now what we see is we can put things here like 5 students, 10 students, 15 and 20 students and then like 10 students. So can I say this is a discrete data? Please tell me. Yeah, of course it's a discrete data. You can count the numbers now. Can't you
Yes.
count?
Yes.
Yeah, the people who scored 10 marks are 5 students. I can easily count. I can count the number of students who have scored 10 marks. Correct?
Yes, sir.
This is discrete data. Now, what is continuous data? Who are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is continuous data? So continuous data is something which you can't count. No, what is that which you can't count? That can take any number between a given range. Okay. That can take any number in a given range. For example, 10 to 20 marks, 5 students. So can I say 10 to 20 marks? Here I'm clear. The marks is how much? 10.
10.
It's clear. It's very clear and simple. 10 marks, 5 students. 10 to 20 marks, 5 students. That 10 to 20 can take any number. Now it can take 11 marks. It can take 12 marks. It can take 11 and a half. It can take 11 3 by 4. It can take 11 1 by 4. It can take anything. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
So you cannot decide what is the number between this parameter. So I say this is continuous data. Okay, I'm confirmed that 5 students have scored marks between this range, but the range here is something which can take infinite numbers in it. Okay, or else if I just say this is like something I'm drawing, this is called normal distribution bell-shaped curve. Okay, this is a part of statistics which you don't have right now. So if I want to say I say that range of rainfall in Hyderabad is between 2 mm to 10 mm or let's say 2 mm to 2.5 mm, it can take infinite outcomes like 2.1 mm, 2.11 mm, 2.112 mm, 2.468954 mm. So it can take infinite outcome. It can have infinite outcomes. Correct? Can you count that rainfall like with something? Of course,
No.
there can be some computerized machine, but not manually. Am I right?
Yes.
So this is called continuous data. Categorical data, the data which is based upon some category. Okay, like we are just seeing there are some 100 people and we want to check the education level of these people, so we start from undergraduate, graduate, postgraduate. So can I say this is categorical data? Of course. Nominal data can be thought of as a name or label and has no set order. So you can count nominal data but you can't order or measure it. For example, eye color, so this is called nominal data, something which is there, but whose parameters cannot be set. No one, can we say what is the eye color standardized? Can we say this is a standard eye color? Can you measure anyone's eye color?
No.
We say brownish, we say greenish, but we can't say the exact color, correct?
Yes.
So we don't know the order of that. Ordinal data, like it is with the name itself, order. Okay. Some data which is in some order or scale is called ordinal data. For example, levels of satisfaction data collected on a scale of 1 to 10. So if you are going to a movie, of course, everyone like who goes to a movie would be asked by some people outside the movie theater what ratings you want to give out of 5. Or some critics would be there for a movie. The critics would give their ratings, correct? So you say, I give 5 on 5. I give 4 on 5. No, it's like it's a blunder. I give 1 on 5. So these are the ratings. Or so they arrange the ratings in order, and maximum ratings what are given like they have their own way of coming out or publishing the data or the way they rate a movie, but ratings is what people do. Am I right? People like the order wise ratings are happening, correct?
Yes.
So that shows from top to bottom, like from like first to 5, what is the rating you are giving. So this is order. Okay. Or like in school also you see like when there was some assembly happening, you know, the ones who are very short ones stand at the first, and then somewhat taller ones, then somewhat taller ones, correct? That's ordinal data, order. Sample data is the data arising as a result of investigating a sample. A sample is a selection from population. I already explained you. I took Hyderabad and I took one area of Hyderabad slice. That is sample data, and Hyderabad's data is population data. Okay. Now, data can be numerical, numbers, categorical. So this is what we have discussed right now, and they have given a chart for that. This is the activity which is to be done by you. Now, when we have discussed everything about the data, there comes the sources of data. So you can get the data from various sources. Am I right? Machine or sensor data. This is data that comes from the output of devices that detect input from their surroundings. Of course, in today's world, we have become technologically advanced and we use some like machines which are wonders actually, and which have made our task very easy. So for example, when you go to a hospital, the pulse rate and the heartbeat and the blood pressure of a heart patient who has undergone some surgery and all, you see this kind of data. Am I right? That is a machine or sensor data or not? Please tell me. Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
That is a machine or sensor data or not? When you see some pulse reading, when you go to the hospitals, you see in various movies also they show, correct? Now,
Yes, sir.
yeah, transactional data is data that comes from transactions of an organization like sale, purchase. These are all examples of transactions. So they collect this data and that data becomes the base for preparation of financial statements. Now, human or social data. It can be numerical or non-numerical. If I say out of 100 people, how many are engineers? Stand up. And there are 20 people who happen to be engineers in that group of 100 is numerical data. But I say that like out of this 100 people, okay, I want some 10 like see there is some data whereby you can't put numbers to that, like beauty. Can you measure beauty?
No.
Can you measure intelligence?
No.
Yeah, there may be some computerized machines which are like which are giving that the person's IQ is so and so.
I do. Yes.
But like beauty, intelligence, why, like someone how much wise a person he, how much wise a person is, all these are qualities. Qualities cannot be quantified. Am I right? There should be a
Yes.
mechanism to quantify them. We quantify them. Am I right? We give ratings and all, but I mean, these are not naturally numerical, correct? We artificially are making it numerical data, but this is actually something which is something which cannot be. You cannot give some parameters to this. Am I right? Naturally, there are no parameters. Okay, you cannot say that so someone is some. See, there are 10 mothers and they have their children, and you know, like you may have a perception of beauty or non-beauty, but mothers, can the mothers say that their child is ugly? No mother would
No.
say that. It's highly impossible. Okay, so we made that parameter, but these are like qualities, whatever we have I've explained or mentioned to you, are something which are like non-numerical ones. Okay. Now, these are examples, machine sensor wearables such as fitness trackers. Yeah, today's like you people are using smartwatches, smartphones, and what these smartwatches and smartphones are saying you, they're giving you some data regarding your, like when you're walking, how many steps you walked and all by sensing. So these are like sensor ones, correct? And today, like everything is sensor based, smartphones, temperature sensors, like you have this thermometers. Previously we used to have mercury thermometers. Now what is the thermometer, like you put it, that thermometer would like would be like sensing the temperature of your body when it comes in contact with you. That's what it's a kind of a sensor technology. So distance, example, parking sensors, all these things, like you know all this, like touch sensors in electronic devices, gas exposure detectors, all these are sources of information. Am I right? These are nothing but the sources of data. Transactional, I already explained you. Human social, I already explained you. Okay, like customer queries, handwritten letters, focus group feedback, social media posts, etc. Some real life examples, supermarkets that offer a delivery service often have location tracking sensors in the lorries. So today when the Zomato Swiggy guy comes to your home, he just have these sensors, correct, which shows him the direction, correct or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, internal sources of information. These include, see, when take a company, okay, when I take a company into picture, and from the company's perspective, I'm taking a company or an organization into consideration, and with this company's perspective, I'm seeing what can be internal information for this company and what can be external information for this company, correct? So internal information for a company can be the financial accounting records, payroll, human resource information, production information, timesheets. Can you get this data from outside or from the company itself?
From the company.
Of course, from the company itself. These are the data which company has because they maintain this data. Then what are the external sources of information about that company, how it is performing? We can know from the economic times, we can know from some journals, we can know from some financial, from some newspapers or magazines dealing with markets, correct? Can we get the information from that? Can we get an information of a company from the government's website even? Yes, if they are registered, we get from the government website even. Understood? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are you following? Are you following? The lecture is not that like interesting.
No, sir. It is.
Yeah, of course. So external source of information, these include market research, interviews, postal questionnaires. So of course you get information from the newspapers, from the print media, from the post media, and from the like social media these days, correct? From Google, all these are external sources of information. From libraries,
Yes.
from the governments, these are the very reliable sources of secondary information. Government, from government website, like you see Great Britain, you want to know any information about anything, you can get from the government website like of Great Britain. You can get data about banks like from newspapers or from their websites or from journals. Okay, how much money the government has borrowed from them and the money supply, all these things they have to publish. Trade journals and financial newspapers, these are the other sources of external information, and internet as well, I said you right now. Now, impact of general economic environment on cost or revenue. So what is a cost actually? Cost is something which you are incurring or which you are like spending, am I right? And revenue is nothing but which you want to earn. See, you put money to earn money, that is a simple fact, everyone knows. Now, there is some illustration here. The general economic environment will affect the cost and revenue of a business, of course. Like, see, it is a very, what we say, it is a very true statement. See, if you are running a business in a city, of course, you will be having all the infrastructure and you will be incurring less cost, correct? But if you are running your business in some remote area, in some jungle, definitely you will be incurring high cost, isn't it so? And in fact, the cost is high here. The cost is high here. The revenues will be low. The cost will be high, but revenues will be low because very less people. Here the cost will be less and the revenues will be high. Now, not every cost will be less here. Not every cost will be more here. Here the rentals can be very cheaper rentals. Here the rentals can be very costlier. Am I right? But other kind of costs are less here, like transportation cost. Here the transportation cost is very high because it's a remote area. So the economic environment is the one which has an impact or which can affect the cost and revenue of a business. Where you have set up your business, it depends how much revenue you will generate. So people say if you want to start a luxury brand business in Hyderabad, you should pick the Jubilee Hills or Banjara Hills area. Why people say that? Because that area has that potential. That area can definitely generate revenues for you. Am I right? Of such kind of product. That's what. Now, the economic environment, consider an accountancy training business. So suppose someone is teaching a tally or some software, and state how it might be affected by a recession. That is the general economic environment. These people are targeting us. Now, solution, change, impact. So you know what happens when there is a recession? When there is a recession, the macroeconomic factors like GDP would go down. Why? Because there is very less demand. Excuse me, I have a call. So, like during the recession, what happens? What do you mean by recession? Recession is something which is a adversity for an economy. It's not something good for the economy. So during the recession, what happens? People are very much scared to invest in the market rather than they are not confident about the economy's direction, because they don't think the economy is going to flourish, or they don't think that there is something something good happening in the economy. Like Pakistan, what is Pakistan's status right now? It's gone case. Okay, they have very less time. They can't survive now because, see, there are a lot of other factors even, and there are a lot of other aspects or theories behind that. I just don't want to go into that. But what I mean to say is, suppose there is a recession because of the COVID-19. What happened? There was no economic activity happening, correct? People were very much scared because of the COVID-19. People were like, this is the time whereby we are going to lose our jobs. Okay, we are not going to get new jobs. So do you think they were buying clothes as usual as they were buying clothes during the normal times? They were they were going for holidays as they were going normally. Do you think that was happening during the COVID times? No,
No.
everyone was in a dilemma. Everyone was scared of that scenario. Everyone was like, now how we will survive? Everything was negative at those days. In those days, am I right? So that is the problem, and the GDP falls. And then when the GDP falls, what is the impact on the country or economy or on your business? Less money in the economy, meaning less disposable income, may create fall in demand for courses. See, during the COVID-19 times, I understand India is such a country whereby the education is cheaper, the education is not that costlier. The classes which I'm taking for you and I'm charging is not that high. If you go to foreign nations, they charge $30 or some pounds hourly basis. What is this? You are paying 3,000 rupees. If I see in case of euro or pounds, but mine is like I'm charging per book wise. So in India it did not impact, but in foreign countries it impacted. There was less demand for courses. People were not ready to spend money on courses because the future was very gloomy for them, because for what reason they will study when they'll not get jobs? Are you understanding? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. The firm operates in a city which has high proportion of financial service firms, which seem to be bucking the overall recession well. Example of a local economic trend. So what is that change? The firm operates in a good city which has some good amount of firms which are into this same kind of business. Okay, so a higher proportion of students coming from an area less affected by recession may stave off the expected fall in demand due to the national recession. So what happens? Suppose Hyderabad is a hub of software courses. Even though there is a recession, in some places there may be a higher impact. In other places there may not be an impact. Now let leave that COVID-19 out of the box now. COVID-19 is something which is exception. No one expected in their lifetime that this is going to happen. But if some state is not doing well in like in India, the other states may do well. Correct. In some states there is less job, like Bihar. Bihar is a state which has very less opportunities. So what happens? Many people from Bihar migrate and they go to other places. Isn't it so? So you can put that here. So people who are not who they will come to Hyderabad for all these software courses in what? Why? Because they're confident if they do these courses here, they may get good jobs here. Now, increased inflation. What do you mean by inflation, Hoor? Can I get an idea? What is inflation?
Inflation.
Yeah. Fatima, what is inflation? See,
Yeah,
yeah.
unemployment.
No, 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 no. Unemployment is something very different from inflation. Inflation is such a condition whereby the prices of things are going very high, whereby
Okay.
it's not affordable for people, like because of high demand. People are showing unnecessary high demand. For example, there is this area, there are 10 houses here. and there is some open plot here. So see, plot here or plot 60 kilometers away from Hyderabad. Here, if I want to buy this plot, they are quoting me 10 lakhs. Here, if I want to buy, they're quoting 5 crores. Now, what do you think? Here, the prices are inflated or not? This is a
Yes.
plot. This is a plot. This is also a piece of land. This is also a piece of land. This is also not a fertile land. This is also not a fertile land. They are just open lands. But here the price is less, here the price is more. Here the price is very inflated. It is very high. Why? Because people are showing a lot of demand for this land. They are ready to buy this. There are some lakhs and lakhs of people who are looking to reside in this area. It's a very good community and locality, and this will take some 20 years or 30 years to develop. So they're not ready to pay higher amount for this. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
So inflation is something whereby the prices of goods are rising. That is not good. See, sometimes you see onions have become 100 rupees per kg and tomatoes have become 100 rupees per kg. Now, do you think they are that worth?
No.
See, I and me and you are not the ones to decide the worth of something, which is what we eat. This is very important for us in diet. But do you think that cost is justified? We did not pay that much any point of time, but sometimes we pay. That is because of this inflation. Okay.
Yes.
So now you are seeing the real estate news of Hyderabad every day or the next day in newspaper. You see Hyderabad, the prices are very high. Now it is not easy to afford a plot here. Forget about land. Flats also people are not able to afford in Hyderabad, newly constructed flats, etc. It's very costly now because of this inflation. So So this inflation, what this can do, when prices of everything go very high, then it becomes very tough for us to buy courses. Am I right? Because you are left over with less disposable income. Suppose someone is earning 10,000 rupees per month, 2,000 goes for rent and 1,000 goes for some other kind of 2,000 goes for provision and 1,000 goes for maid and all these things and 1,000 goes for like medicines, 1,000 goes for education. He's left over with 2,000. Now he cannot afford to take new courses to upgrade himself. Why? Because he has very less amount. He has to save for the future even. That's what. So inflation eats away your savings. So you have less money to put. Lower interest rates. See, what do you mean by lower interest rates? If the interest rates are lower, the demand goes high. Am I right?
Yes.
See, what happened is after the COVID-19, the government has decreased the interest rates. Why government decreased the interest rates? To create demand for houses. Otherwise, the real estate sector and other sectors would be very, like they would be impacted. Okay, there would be a negative impact on them. So this very less interest rates drove people to buy houses. The interest rates were 6.25%. Okay, now this cunning people have increased the interest rates, but they gave this benefit for 2 years and people enjoyed it. So interest rates, when they are lower, people can borrow cheaper and they can put that money in the courses. At least they can fight inflation during that times, correct? Then increases in tax rates is not good because again the disposable income is less in other countries, European and other countries. What do you think? They pay taxes very genuinely. They are honest in paying taxes. Unlike India, whereby you see many of the people who are selling this idli dosa are also not paying taxes. They're earning in like they're earning heavily. We can say they earn in big numbers, like they earn in 6 digits or some like big figures per month, not per annum. But they aren't paying taxes. That's not good. So if the tax rates increase, that eats away your savings, and again you have less money to spend for your education. And then
Yes,
reductions in government spending, any contra. So when government starts reducing the spending on infrastructure or any other things, any contracts with government agencies could be at risk due to local cutbacks. So this is what you understood the situation with this question. Okay, so what was the question all about? They gave you an economic environment and they gave you different cases, what an economy can go through, like when there is a decline in GDP, when you are operating in some prime area, when there is a inflation, when there is low interest rate, when there is high tax rates, and when government spends less, You have come across all these situations and you saw that how that firm is going to survive. Correct?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now random sampling, I already explained you about what is random sampling. So no need to explain again about this. Random sampling is okay. Yeah, we will discuss something about this now. So random sampling is nothing but like simple random sample is sample selected in such a way that every member in the population has an equal chance of being included. For example, this we were distributing this parking to 100 people, correct? And they can pick any cheat. Anyone can pick any cheat. Okay. And it was not fixed that he will get that parking. He will get that desired parking what he wants. No, he can get any parking. That is random. Because the result and outcome we don't know now what is going to be. Okay, you may have n number of thoughts that I should get the parking near the lift, but no, the chit will decide what parking you will get. Now, if random sampling is used, then it is necessary to construct a sampling frame. What is a frame? You know, a photo frame. Photo frame keeps all the photos in order. Am I right? So sampling frame keeps all the samples in a order. So a sampling frame is a numbered list of all items of population. Now you got the idea what I said? Yes. So it keeps all the list of items which are included in a population. Now, random numbers can be generated from a computer program or a book of random numbers. The items which correspond to chosen random numbers then form the sample. That means you can take up, you can make some range 10 to 20. So you can put whatever the samples you have collected, you want to put that in this category, you can put it in that way. Okay, as I told you, marks and students. So the marks 10 to 20 marks, how many students? 10 students. Can I put in this way? Yes, I can do that. Now, what are the drawbacks of random sampling? See, the selected items are subject to full range of variations inherent in the population. Sample may be unrepresentative at times. That may not directly represent like what we want out of that particular sample. Okay, that means we have collected a sample randomly. See, I wanted to check like how many people are working in a like suppose I wanted to know how many, excuse me. Hello. Yeah. So random sampling is nothing but if I want to know how many married people are working like people, in the sense there are some people who are married, but some women may be homemakers at home and some like men would be working. I want to know how many like men and women who are married are like working. Okay. So in that case, I will collect all the samples. Sometimes I may collect unnecessary data. Am I right? I don't care about like, see, I'm not drawing a conclusion immediately, but in random sampling, what happens? There's a lot of wastage of time and wastage of, and lot of unnecessary waste data also we collect. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see, I may collect the samples of some old people who are not even working. So that is unrepresentative to my sample. Now, samples may be scattered over a large geographical area, of course, and these are all drawbacks actually. An adequate sampling frame may not exist. I cannot like put the data always in some order or some format. I may find it very difficult and it's very laborious to do this. Okay, So, you know, like I have to go every house, I have to knock everyone's door and collect the data. Some people will be not interested to give any data at all. They'll be like, hey, you are mad. Like, come on, move out of my house. What kind of why you are collecting all this data? Some people are always reluctant. You know, when people this government people want to know how many gas connections each and every household has, there were all sorts of issues in Hyderabad city. Okay, so you are not a student of statistics. If you're a student of statistics, you will know what challenges these statisticians they face. And it is very expensive even because we have to spend money on fuel, time, etc. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll continue the class from here tomorrow. Actually, like I have some work right now. I'll tell you what that work is afterwards. But next class I'm about to wind up this chapter. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Both of you. Is it fine now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow class will be in the afternoon. As I already told, tomorrow the class is at 1 p.m. So please be ready for the class.
All right.
Okay. Like in fact, can I, if it's like okay, if I can take at 12:30 p.m. also?
Yeah.
Uh, are you free?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, so 12:30 to 1:30 or 2, whatever it is, we'll continue the class till that time and we'll wind up this chapter by tomorrow itself. Okay, and then now first chapter and second chapter you're going to write a test. Okay, so after finishing this chapter, you read you read everything from your book, and I'll conduct a test. I'll tell when on which day you have to write the test. Fine.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let's take the class at 12:30 tomorrow. Thank you.
All
Yeah.
right.